Oh, welcome everyone for joining me. Thanks for joining me here today live with Mark Cox, who is a vocal coach and a life coach based in upstate New York. And Mark is joining our summit next week as a guest host because all the speaker spots were filled. So maybe next year we'll have you do a presentation, Mark. And I wanted to introduce you to the people who are interested in the summit and let them get to know you a little bit in advance of the summit too.
Thanks so much, Aideen. I really appreciate it. And so happy to be here.
Yay.
Excited.
Yeah. We had a great meeting yesterday about, how the day is going to go. And everybody's starting to feel this excitement because it's a really collaborative event. It's not just everybody coming in and doing their one-off presentation and then leaving again. And most people most of the speakers are going to try and be there for the full day just to experience this energy together and to see what happens. I think it's going to be an interesting day.
It really is. Definitely got that vibe yesterday when we were talking.
Yeah. Tell me why you decided you'd like to get involved with us.
So I thought it was really powerful because the people that we have coming to the summit have such a varied experience in what they do with the voice. So it's all centered around voice work. But the different avenues that you can take that are so varied and so diverse that I think what it really shows is it highlights the impact of the voice, what the voice ties into, which is so much of the whole being of the person, which is where I go with my life coaching side of voice work. And we get down into some real internal workings with past trauma and things. And so seeing that portrayed at this larger scale of all of these different people coming together was just super attractive to me and very much in line with what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, I when we first met, I remember you said to me that you had been looking for other people who were doing something like what you do because it's so unique. I know that I would always talk about, removing the mental and emotional blocks to being seen and heard. But you also have a counseling background, so I bet you can go even quite deep with people that really need that help.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm working with people, there's some portions of the work that I do with them that actually looks like counseling or talk therapy that might look like that in a session. But really, it's all about finding that true, authentic voice, freeing that up from mental blocks, emotional blocks, past pain and grief that you might have been blocking that and hindering just someone's expression in the world.
Yeah, we had some amazing Facebook Lives. One of the first couple were really interesting in that there was this thread of that our voice is the most honest part of us, that it reveals those things. What's your take on that?
I think it's so true. I tend to see the voice as both the fullest form of expression of freedom, personally, internal freedom. It's really expressed with your voice and your expression in the world, but it's also a lens because you can look at someone's expression and you can see the tension that's blocking it. And so you can dive down through the voice, which is what I use the voice for, is this lens to go then dig down and find where's that tension lying? Where's the fear that's inhibiting that fullness of expression? What's keeping you from expressing yourself and really having that voice to, whether it's in your personal life and setting boundaries, whether it's in your professional life and really giving that full expression of art that you wish to give to the world. So it really impacts all of those things. So I see it both ways, right? It's that expression. So it's a picture, but it's also a lens to look inside. So I would agree with it.
Wow.
Super, super true.
And I love that word picture of the lens. Gosh, it just really, I can feel it in my heart because when we notice it in other people sometimes, but we don't notice it in ourselves, right? So you can, someone says something to us and we're like, I'm not sure how true that thing is. There doesn't seem to be in alignment with them. So do you think it's harder for people to kind of reverse engineer or understand that lens from when they're looking at themselves? Do we need someone else to help us with that?
Absolutely. The work that I do with others, there's a portion of it that I do with myself, but it's really helpful for me to have help if I'm needing some personal work in this area. It's the same thing with just the technical sense of voice, right? The voice that you hear inside your head never is the voice that other people hear when you're performing or singing, right? And so you need the vocal coach to tell you, like, actually, that note, it's not resonating.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually doing what you think it's doing. I can tell you think it is, but it's not. The same thing is true with the interpersonal work, right? Sometimes you need someone to call your bluff, because the first person you're going to lie to is yourself. And sometimes the first person to believe those lies is yourself. So you need someone to go, can I gently push back on that a little bit? And just kind of coach you through being honest and what that means.
Yeah. And it's that inner voice. Sometimes if it stays, it's just a thought in the back of your mind and you never say what it is out loud, we don't actually get that chance to we don't ever hear it the way an external person hears it, but sometimes we don't ever say it even. And there's certain things we never say to anybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm excited about the summit because it seems like we're going to be touching on some of these things.
Yeah.
There's going to be a session on dealing with trauma. There's going to be sessions on dealing with some of that inner work, and even touching on some inner spiritual work, and working with the voice and how the voice and singing even will impact those areas of a person. And I'm super excited about just the cross dynamic of emotional, physical, mental, even spiritual, and just bringing that all together and saying the voice is so impactful. It comes from all of these places and it can affect all of these places and really bring about some holistic healing, which I think is much needed for many people.
Yeah, I agree. And it's exciting for me to be sharing this as a tool, that the voice is a tool for that transformation and that empowerment and that healing. And whatever way you come at it, if you come at it from a psychological view or come at it from a creativity view or from a spiritual view, it has value every which way. And I know myself that I blend a couple of things. I'm sure you blend what you do as well. So I would encourage anyone listening, please, register for the summit, because it is a free event. So you can come for free on the day. And then we have an option for VIPs to also get the recordings and get gifts from the different speakers. And I know that as a host, you're actually even offering a gift. Mark, would you like to tell people about that?
Sure. So I'm offering some free sessions with myself. I can work with a number of different dynamics. So whether that is more of that, I want to do some more technical singing or some technical speech coaching and that kind of thing, that's a reason someone might work with me. More often than not, someone will come to me and say, my voice doesn't have the impact in this area that I wish it did. It's being blocked by something. And so we're going to be doing some internal work, digging down and saying, what can we find? What can we find here? And then how do we practice that in both a mental, emotional, and physical way, using vocal techniques, using the breath work, using the voice to actually help heal all of those parts of the person, so that then you can live in the world with true full expression, which is going to impact your personal life, your professional life, and even your leadership and influence that you have over the people that you're responsible to lead, whether that be your family or professionally.
Oh, I love it. It sounds so juicy. And I mean, people are just going to be lining up for that. I'm so looking forward to having you join us next week. So the summit is on the 1st of April. It's starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're based in the UK, it's going to be starting in the afternoon. And we welcome all of you watching, listening. Please join us. Please be there. Ask your questions. And there is an opportunity to send a question in advance if you have something that you'd like to ask. And thank you, Mark, for deciding to be part of this year.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aideen, for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm really excited. I just love it. I love it. Okay, everybody, take care and we'll see you next time.